ASMballeR here, and today I am back with another video. As you can probably guess in this video, yes, we are going to be doing a soft-spoken video, so hopefully you don't mind a little bit of a switch up in content, but hopefully it's still nice to watch, I guess. But in tonight's video, as you can see, we are going to be doing something that I haven't done in quite some time, and it's going to be a quiz video. So I guess just sit back, relax, and make sure you take this quiz alongside me. I don't know if it's just going to be one long one, a couple of short ones, some fun ones, some challenging ones. I have no idea. So it's going to be a surprise for both of us, I guess. So make sure you like the video. If you do like the video, you can also like the video if you want me to continue on making these kinds of videos, I guess you could say. They're fun to make, so if you definitely want to see more of them, just give a nice little like on the video, and also comment down below maybe some of your answers to these. I would love to know your opinion. Obviously, I love hearing from you as well. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel, obviously. No, but if you are enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe. We are doing a giveaway at 7.5k, which is fairly close, and after that, the big push, I guess, to 10k, which should be kind of fun. If we do hit it, that'd be kind of cool, I guess. But yeah. Also, so very quickly, we have Nick. Thank you so much, Nick. By the way, I'm sure this is thanks in a different language. I even tried to look up on Google Translate, like, what language this is from. I don't know. It's definitely not like a Russian or something like that. I have no idea, but thank you so much for this little message. It's definitely really cool. No idea what language it is, but it's definitely really cool. So thank you so much for that. Also, again, Crundle. Yes, Crundle, Perry the Platypus Man, is back with another thank you. So thank you so much for that, Crundle. Absolutely love that show. Absolutely love your little profile picture. Thank you so much for that as well. We also have another very interesting profile picture from Zerka Burga, I think it's how you pronounce it, but they have that like meme Anthony Davis picture that I've seen on Twitter a handful of times, so thank you so much for that as well. Definitely very cool. But yeah, so we also have a returning person who is just going absolutely insane in the comments, and Jesus, so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, it's Flamboyant Pickle, but they are just going absolutely insane, and I definitely cannot thank you enough for the support you've been showing down in the comments. Like I said, you're literally like a celebrity of your own down in the comments, and I cannot thank you enough for the love and support you have shown. For everyone wondering, yes, me and Flamboyant Pickle do talk, in emails and stuff, so yes, I've been thinking of a lot more than what I've been showing, but so just thank you so much, Flamboyant Pickle. You are the best. Thank you. Definitely the real MVP, I guess you could say. It's about time we jump right into tonight's video. Alrighty, so sorry by the way if you can hear people talking or like a TV on in the background. Those are my neighbors. Don't know why they're being so loud so early in the morning. Again, that's why this background is still the same background. I'm not like filming in my room or doing other different type of things. It's because it's been over 100 degrees the past handful of days here, and I've been dying. This is the coolest room where I live, and it's definitely the only place I can really film a video, so sorry if it's getting kind of repetitive or old. But right now I'm just googling NBA quizzes to take, and right now I'm on zoo.com, which don't know how well they make these type of quizzes and stuff, but there is one that sort of caught my eye. This isn't a knowledge-based one, but it is build your dream NBA team and we'll guess what kind of coach you'd be. I think that's kind of interesting. I'd like to think I know about building teams. Obviously, a lot of my channel is 2K, my league, rebuilding videos. So let's see what type of coach I would be depending on this quiz I take about building an NBA team. Alrighty, so about this quiz, it says the lottery is over. You've already discovered your position in the draft, or draft position, sorry, and you have a list of players who you want to add to your roster. There are going to be some tough decisions, though. Do you want that ball dominant? Oh god, there's a lot more to read, sorry. Point guard who can line up from beyond the arc, or would you prefer the two-way wing who can play above the rim? More importantly, what do these decisions tell about you as a coach? Very interesting. Alright, so the first question they have here is, these players recently won the NBA MVP. Which one do you want to be the MVP of your team? They have Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously. They have James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Steph Curry. Wow, this is actually a very good decision. Now the thing is, are these players in their prime? Are these the players right now? I need some more context around this quiz, but I'm assuming, since it did say these players recently won the NBA MVP, I'm assuming it means nowadays. Now, if it just said, out of these players, who would you want? I would then assume it would be in their primes, but since it's trying to put a sort of timestamp on when I'm picking these players, I'm assuming it means nowadays. So if that is the case, I love you, Russell Westbrook. I hope you have a great time in LA, but I think it's a little bit past your prime, so I'm not going to pick Russell Westbrook. Love him though. So we have Giannis, Harden, and Curry. Man, that's tough. I do think James Harden is an amazing player, but I mean, if I'm picking a guard to pick a fantasy draft with, I mean, Steph Curry was absolutely crazy this past year. Definitely could have and probably should have won the MVP if he did have a little bit better of a team, a little bit healthier of a season. He had an amazing year, just as good of a shooter, definitely a better shooter. Facilitating game is still there as well. Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, I think if I am picking between the two, it's definitely between Giannis and Steph Curry, even though, again, love James Harden. But if I'm picking one of these players right now to build, to start a team, I think I kind of have to go Giannis. Now, again, Steph Curry, an amazing player. He's going to be a great player for the next, honestly, probably the next 3 to 5 years still, even though how old he is. Just from his game, he's not relying on athleticism or anything like that. He's, relying a lot of, obviously, shooting ability and basketball IQ, which he can play well into, late 30s, early 40s, with that sort of play style. So I love Steph Curry with that. But if I am starting to build a team as of today, why not pick a super young, 2-time back-to-back MVP winner, Defensive Player of the Year winner, just coming off an NBA title in Giannis Antetokounmpo? Might be kind of an easy one for a lot of people, but for me, very tough. But I'm picking Giannis. Question is, who is your draft pick going to be if these first overall picks are up for grabs? They are Big Game James Worthy, Chris Webber, Glenn Robinson, and Elvin Hayes. Definitely a throwback question, that's for sure, especially with the Elvin Hayes question. Man, okay, so no offense, but I think there are 3 names here that are a little bit head and shoulders above another player. No offense to Glenn Robinson, really good player, but definitely not to the same sort of level as the other guys, so he's definitely gone. And Chris Webber, great college athlete, definitely had a great time in the NBA. People are arguing him to be a Hall of Fame basketball player. That's not my decision, but a lot of people are saying that, even though he did have a pretty bad mix-up in college basketball with the whole timeout situation that happened. Chris Webber, really good player, but again, not really at the same level as a James Worthy or even an Elvin Hayes. So at least in my opinion, it's between James Worthy and Elvin Hayes. Two very good retro players. And I do think maybe overall, Elvin Hayes might be, the better statistical player. But, if you don't know how good James Worthy was and could have been if he wasn't already teaming up with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, this dude easily would have been the best player on probably almost any other team in the NBA during that time period. He was such a good player, but obviously playing on, a more team basketball type of team with a great like Magic and a great like Kareem. He didn't really need to be all that and more that he could have been. I'm thinking James Worthy just based on the fact that he could have been, again, one of the best players in the NBA during that time period. He probably arguably still was, even on that team with such great talent. I'm picking James Worthy with that question right there. Next question here we have, if you wanted to build an NBA team starting with the interior, definitely doesn't happen nowadays, which of these big men are you taking? We have Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, and Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's tough. That is really, really tough. Of course, again, if we're picking the lessers of all of these greats, I love Patrick Ewing. Definitely a great player, but I think defensively really stacks up really well against these other great NBA centers. Offensively, though, not really sure if he really stacks up that well. He's not a better interior scorer than Shaq. David Robinson scored 71 points in an NBA game before, and we all know the offensive game of Hakeem Olajuwon is probably the most skillful big man of all time. No offense to Patrick Ewing, I love you. Not gonna be picking you. And also, David Robinson. I know I talked about him in my last video being super underrated, this and that. He is very underrated, but when you're stacking him up against arguably two of the top 3 centers in NBA history, it's kind of hard to pick the Admiral on this one. Great player. If you want to pick him, that's awesome, but I think it's pretty obviously between Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaquille O'Neal. Oh man, this is really tough. I love Shaq, prime Shaq, the most dominant player in NBA history. Just the crazy stat lines he would have in the playoffs, the finals, even in a regular season. Definitely was robbed of more MVPs during this time period, but was known for being the best basketball player in many years in the 2000s of the NBA. Then on the other hand, you have Hakeem Olajuwon, who's just, again, the most skillful big man of all time. His post moves impeccable. He even had a little hook shot post game, mid range. This dude in today's era would have been a 3-point specialist of a big man if he played in this era. But oh man, if I was picking, like, if this was like my first pick, which I'm assuming this probably is if I'm starting a team on the interior, which it says that, I also am taking into account leadership, and we all know the fiasco that prime Shaq had with his teammates back in the day. Definitely older Shaq was definitely a little bit more wiser with how things went to be. But if I'm starting a team, I want my best player to be the locker room guy, the leader, the head of the franchise. And I think this has to go to Hakeem Olajuwon. I love Shaq, an amazing player. Definitely not the wrong answer. None of these are the wrong answer, but if I need a leader, a guy with my first pick to help my team out the most, Hakeem can do it on the court, off the court, without speaking, with speaking. An amazing player, an amazing mind. I'm going to pick Hakeem Olajuwon. I also realized there are a lot of questions, so I'm going to start going a little bit faster with these. Next question. The game is on the line and you need a three-pointer to tie it before the buzzer sounds. Who do you trust to take the shot? We have Ray Allen, Damian Lillard, Reggie Miller, and Klay Thompson. I definitely love all these players, and any one of them is definitely a good and right answer to this question. I think for me personally, if it's just a wide open three-point shot, I'm taking Klay Thompson. He is maybe if not one of the best standing still three-point spot-up shooters we've ever seen in the NBA. I mean, obviously you have Damian Lillard, Mr. Clutch Time himself, but I mean, if it's just a wide open, like standing still three, I think it's Klay Thompson is a really good answer. Which one of these former legends would you want on your squad? We have Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, and Wilt Chamberlain. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Obviously, Wilt Chamberlain is definitely the most talented individual on this list, but I'm gonna go Bill Russell. Kind of like the same thing with like the Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon argument. I think Bill Russell is still a very good, capable player, but man, the presence that Bill Russell brought to his team, that IQ during the time period, and even being one of the best defenders in NBA history, even still to this day, I would say. I'm picking Bill Russell. The mind and on and off the court, like that should be amazing to have on an NBA team. When it comes out of all of the all-time great Lakers, where does your loyalty lie? Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Kareem, or Elgin Baylor? I guess just like me personally, and I'm assuming the entirety of this generation that me and you are in right now, I think most of us probably would say Kobe Bryant, and that's me too. Kobe was my first ever favorite NBA player. He made me fall in love with the game. Definitely a great player. Mine is definitely with Kobe. Let's see. Every team needs a point guard who can set up other players with scoring opportunities. Which one of these elite passers do you want? Jason Kidd, Stockton, Steve Nash, or Chris Paul? That's crazy. I think me personally, I'm gonna go with Jason Kidd. I know it says, you need a point guard who can set up others in scoring opportunities. Obviously, all these point guards can do that, so that's kind of a no-duh. But if you're taking into account the entirety of a player, sure, Steve Nash is a back-to-back MVP, but Jason Kidd is a 6'4", 6'5" guard who can guard multiple positions, an amazing perimeter defender, can score 20 plus points per game, but can also be, 10 plus assists a game as well. Jason Kidd, very underrated. Chris Paul would be a good answer here too, but I think the size and ability of Jason Kidd is what puts him over for me. Another one. These champions all have multiple titles on their resumes. Select the one who fits your roster. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan. Again, definitely no wrong answers. This is just based off of your opinion, I guess. I'm gonna pick LeBron. I mean, if I'm building a team, if I'm building a roster, I think LeBron is like the best answer for this, because this dude can be your go-to guy. He can be your number one passer. He can be your defensive anchor. If we're talking about prime LeBron James, he can do it all. I love Michael Jordan, an amazing player, but LeBron is still one of the greatest scorers of all time, but can also assist and rebound and lead and do this and do that and do that. That's why I love LeBron. He can do it all. If I'm picking a player, I'm picking LeBron James. So next question, what former NBA six-man of the year do you want coming off your bench? We have Jamal Crawford, Manu Ginobili, Mike Miller, and Jason Terry. Wow. This one's also kind of easy. Manu Ginobili, definitely the best individual player out of these guys, but obviously Jamal Crawford might be known as like the best six-man of all time, but Manu Ginobili for sure. If you're looking to add an NBA Finals MVP for some championship pedigree, who are you taking? Andre Iguodala, Dennis Johnson, Bill Walton, or Wes Unseld? Interesting, but we all know why Andre Iguodala won the Finals MVP, just for stopping LeBron James. I'm going to take Bill Walton. Not being biased, Bill Walton at that time period was arguably the best player in the NBA. In 1977 was absolutely dominating the NBA during that time period. I think maybe the other answer would be Wes Unseld. Really good player, but don't really know like his peak. I know Bill Walton's peak, and it was really good. Do you know these members of the Bad Boy Pistons well enough to know which one of these you're adding to your roster? Mark Aguirre, Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer, or Isaiah Thomas? Well, obviously Isaiah Thomas is the best player out of this group, so I guess you could just take him just to take him, but I'm actually going to take Joe Dumars. One, very good scorer, maybe the best scorer out of this group, but also, I don't want like a confrontational team. I want a hard-nosed team, a good defensive team, but not one that's going to start a fight. I think Joe Dumars is definitely a good mixture of just a good, hard-nosed player. Would you rather have one of these stars from the 80s or the 90s? Adrian Dantley, Clyde Drexler, Alex English, or Chris Mullin? Interesting. Again, these are definitely all scorers, that's for sure. Alex English and Chris Mullin. Alex English and Clyde Drexler are definitely my go-to. Dantley and Mullin, good players, but I think the scoring capability of Alex English and Clyde Drexler are definitely the ones I'm looking at. And again, not being biased, I'm going to pick Clyde Drexler. The only reason why Clyde Drexler isn't a probably multiple-time MVP, multiple-time champion, is because Michael Jordan was the shooting guard of the 90s. And I think Clyde Drexler would get a lot of more praise and notoriety if he wasn't playing in the era with already the greatest shooting guard of all time. But Clyde was still a player who would give you 28 points, guard your team's best player. I'm going to pick Clyde Drexler. And this one is, longevity is sometimes the key to success in the NBA. Which one of these players with some of the longest careers in the NBA history are you taking? Kevin Willis, Vince Carter, James Edwards, and Charles Oakley. Duh. Vince Carter. Vinsanity. Very easy one. And it looks like the coach I got that I am apparently is the player's coach. It says here, you use a more democratic coaching style and everyone seems to love you for it because you look for the input from your players instead of reigning over them with one way of doing things. This coaching style allows you to identify more closely with your players as there is a deeper level of trust between you and each of them. 100% I think is the perfect way to coach an NBA team. I definitely don't really get, at least nowadays, not a way to win. You know, a way a Greg Popovich or some of the older coaches of the years past, like Tom Thibodeau, coaches who are coach and then player. I don't agree with that type of coaching style. I'm definitely more of almost a head-to-head. I think the coach obviously does have the overlying decision on what goes, but player input is the most important thing. We obviously see in today's nowadays with, you know, the relationships of, you know, LeBron's coaches, James Harden's coaches. Basically, your star player is basically your coach on the court, and you definitely want to be on the same page as them. And if I'm a coach, I want to have the best relationship with my not only best players, but my players in general. I think it is the best way to coach in today's NBA because, again, it's just a better environment instead of just, you know, demanding things from players. I think having a good relationship with them is the best thing to do, which is kind of maybe why I did pick, you know, players like Hakeem Olajuwon, Bill Russell, LeBron James for, you know, my team building things. I think this is actually pretty accurate to way I would coach, and even throughout my picks, I think it actually started to catch on with some of the players I was picking to really pick this decision for me. So I think this is actually fairly accurate. And sorry, I'm gonna have to kind of abruptly end this video here. It's starting to get really loud. My neighbors outside, people are starting to get a little bit too noisy for me. So I was gonna do another one, but I think I'll just end the video here. And if you guys want to see a part 2 of this, definitely let me know. Definitely like the video if you do like the video, and subscribe to the channel to check back in on whatever I'm making a video on next time. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I love you so much. Even just watching this video, means a lot to me. So I really hope you have a good rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this video. It really means a lot to me, and I will see you again very, 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 very